One of the most important things to remember as you write your screenplay is that movies are not the same as books. As far as possible, show, don't tell. What does this mean? Wherever possible, have your characters do things that show us what they are feeling, rather than just having them say how they feel. Your audience will believe what a character does more than what he or she says. If your character is in a bad mood, think of a way to show us that without the character actually saying, "I'm in a bad mood." That is the great power of film. You can communicate so much just by showing it. Stage plays and TV soap operas rely on long conversations between characters to pass on information that happened somewhere else. But a movie allows you to take us to that place and time and show us what happened. Try to avoid talking heads moments, where characters have long conversation about events we don't actually see. It quickly gets boring for an audience. A movie gives you some tools you don't have in a stage play. These include concurrent action, where you can jump between two things happening in two different places at the same time. This is a great way to build tension. Time is elastic. You can jump back and forth in time, so you could choose to keep information hidden from your audience until the moment you want them to find out, by going back to add a bit of detail they hadn't seen before. Another valuable tool is superior point of view, the ability to show your audience something the hero doesn't know, like a mugger waiting around the corner as the hero approaches. Sound is also important in your film, and you're able to add effects to your film without actually creating those sounds at the time of filming. Gunshots, explosions, and even school bells cause your characters to react to something that isn't really there, and sound effects are much easier to create than visual effects. Music is a powerful tool to convey emotion. If you have a talented and willing composer or songwriter in your school, ask them to write a piece of music or song for your film. We will try to use original music and songs if they are recorded before filming and the composer or artist has granted us written permission to include the music in your film. There's also an award for Best Original Score. Foley is sound which is added to your film during the editing to recreate or enhance natural sounds in your film, like footsteps or doors closing. As you write your screenplay, remember to write down only what the audience will see and hear. Read over each scene once you have written it and ask yourself if all the details you need your audience to know have been shown. Remember that we cannot see what people are thinking, only what they are doing and saying. If you choose to share a character's thoughts, these need to be written out as dialogue which will be recorded and added to the picture. So you still need to write down what your audience will see while the voice in the character's head is speaking. Try to avoid this option completely, otherwise keep it as short as possible. We want to see your characters doing things. As we have said before, action is character. What a person does shows us who they are. Always remember that we will need to be able to see things you have written about to be able to film them. That means that if you describe a fancy bedroom in your screenplay, you need to be able to film that fancy bedroom at your school. If you have a helicopter in your story, will you be able to have it at your school on the day of filming? Your movie is not a stage play. Every item you describe has to physically be there when we film, so avoid props or locations you will not have access to when we film at your school. Before you start writing each scene, imagine it as a movie in your head, then write what you see and hear. If you can see it clearly in your own head and then describe what you see in your screenplay, there is a much better chance that the producers will see your movie in their own heads when they read your screenplay. That is exactly what you want.
Yes! Yes!